Hello Factor 50 followers. As we don't have a podcast for you this week, I thought I'd do a little recap of what was a very eventful weekend on Farrell Stag Do. So we met at Heathrow Airport the night before, and despite the best intentions of not drinking and going to bed early, we were up to the early hours drinking, and then woke up to go to the airport and felt horrendous in the morning. After the obligatory Wetherspoons pint, we got a lovely little pick-me-up for the Stag, which really helped him feel good on the plane and definitely perked him up. We landed in Hamburg early Friday morning, ready to go and soak up some of the culture. By which, of course, I mean getting some steins in and sampling some of the lovely local beers. And being English tourists abroad, of course, sampling the local culture means go to an Irish pub and drink loads of Irish and English beers. And here's Ryan doing just that, also showing off his Stag Do t-shirt, which, of course, is sponsored by Factor 50 Football. Make sure you're following and subscribing. And there's Simon, very confident for an ugly lad. And because we're fancy, I'd booked us a table at this lovely Sky Bar restaurant where we could have some lovely cocktails and admire the views of the city and soak that in before heading back to the Irish bars. Now, because Farrell's so keen on his fitness, there was nothing he wanted to do more after a full day of drinking than wake up early and run the park run in Hamburg dressed as a giant koala. So once we were fully inflated, we got underway and actually ended up completing it in a pretty decent time, even with a little sprint finish in there as well. Got around about 38 minutes, which I think is a koala PB for him. Although the sprint finish was probably a bad idea after all of the alcohol the day before. Because we're all really big sports fans, we booked a table at a sports bar and got the Arsenal game on, which seemed like a good idea at the time, but we all know what happened there. And then it was time to head out for our second night in the town. This time the theme was shit shirts, as beautifully demonstrated there by Lee and David. And Farrell had a beautiful outfit, which was a pink sports bra and leggings, which he showed off very nicely with his lovely physique. Man's allergic to weights. But that was the end of the second night, the end of day 2 before our last full day there. Now, we all know you should take it easy on the last day, right? But we didn't do that because we've got absolutely no willpower. So it was time for one more fancy dress costume for Farrell and one more night out for the rest of us before coming home and ending the Stag Do. Although weirdly, I did get interviewed as we were coming out of the Airbnb, but it turns out they were just interested in the podcast. So make sure you're hitting like and subscribe and follow for more.